I was reading another comment and I really found it interesting. This person said that I don't sound like a racist, but I sound like a typical conservative using conservative logic. I've noticed that politics has just become a team sport. It's a game, but with real consequences, man. And I don't think that we always think about it. I don't know, maybe they do and they choose to ignore it. The commentator talks about nuance while simultaneously removing all nuance from my identity, and placing me in a political category, conservative, bootlicker. And I've always said, you let people talk, you let people write, they write these long, eloquent comments, and you just give them enough time and they'll tell the truth. They'll speak the truth. The truth will come out eventually. He talks about black and white thinking. Criticism itself demonstrates black and white thinking. I'm not ideological. I don't believe in no ideology. I'm a pragmatist, my friends. Pure and simple. My priorities are safety, stability, affordability, social cohesion, quality of life, and family. Just simple things, man. I am not loyal to any social or political tribe. I judge ideas solely on outcomes, my friends, not political theories or party branding. I don't wake up in the morning and think every day, what does the left and right think? I just ask myself, what makes things better for ordinary people, regardless of skin color, who you pray to, whatever. But you are not allowed to exercise independent thoughts. I've noticed this. If you're black, you're expected to think exactly like every other black person would think. If you're a Muslim, LGBT, there is no room for nuance from people who argue that having my point of view shows no nuance, demonstrates no nuance. So strange, man. Really strange. By ignoring nuance and differences, that puts a marginalized community at a greater disadvantage than the status quo. Naturally, that minority will want or need extra attention to bring about a more balanced equilibrium. What this person fails to understand, and I'm not sure if he's a father, but social cohesion becomes difficult when people think that some people are getting more than others, when opportunities are being allocated unfairly. It's human nature. Do we not read history anymore? Do we still believe that by trying to focus on one section of a society while somehow neglecting or showing less attention on the other side, whichever way you see it, do you think that that's going to help social cohesion? Honestly, without your allegiances, just think about it. If people think that identity matters more than merit, my friends, resentment will grow like a cancer. Are we not seeing this already? Whether right or wrong, human nature exists, man. We are humans. That's why I love history. We behave the same way. We may wear different clothes and, different religions are about now. We got TV, social media, but human beings inherently are the same. There is a natural resentment that grows when we see a single group benefiting or getting more attention than another. You can't build by constantly dividing people along identity lines, skin color, all of that stuff. It's never going to build. In fact, all you're going to have is conflict, man. Problems. I don't know any father that wants that sort of society, that sort of atmosphere, and comfortably allow their children to go to school, knowing that anything could happen. It's insane. The goal should be equal opportunities, man. We've been arguing, we've been saying this. In a way, a lot of people say we need equal opportunities. The black man needs to get the same opportunity as the white man, and some on the white side will say that the white man needs to get the same opportunity as they believe that some minorities are getting. Without this equality of opportunity, there will be no social trust, man. And I know nothing can be 100% equal. No matter how much you try, it's never going to work, man. Human nature. People want more things than another person. Someone wants a flashier car. I mean, hell, when I was a kid, I remember everybody was driving the same sort of cars. I remember when Audi TTs were the one. Everybody was driving around in TTs. I was like, I don't want a TT. I want a Z4 instead. So I got me a Z4 instead. Stood out because no one was really driving them times. Human beings they don't want the next person having the same thing as them. Some people want to just stand out. You know what I mean? Some people want to be different. Some people want more. Some people are happy with what they have. Some people are happy with less. Some people are just happy that, okay, I've got this, but I've got my family, I've got my job, I've got my house, I'm good with that. Some people, they want more. And that's fine to a certain extent, that's fine. But remember, if we are unequal in opportunities, people will just find another way, man. People will just hate each other. And this comment, he says, we need to bring a more balanced equilibrium, as if regardless of conservative or Labour governments, it's been happening. I mean, this is not something that the Labour government just brought in. This has been happening for 20, 30 years, man. I look on the telly and you see the pundits, maybe you'll have a couple of blacks, a couple of whites, a woman on there. Sometimes it's just all blacks and no one complains. But do we think that's because of merit, or are we trying to achieve a balanced equilibrium? Remember who benefits from all of this division. Angry, divided people, divided societies, divided populations rarely unite around larger institutional or economic problems or issues. While people argue about identity, there are bigger issues at hand that are neglected, that keep on growing. Housing problems, declining affordability, shrinking trust, surveillance state, encroachment on freedom of speech, freedom of movement in some cases, data collection, corporate influence, leading to economic pressure. Because when we see the ups and downs in the stock market, the problem in the Straits of Hormuz, the rich are just getting richer, man. They can wait and just buy stocks when they're cheap. They have disposable income to just buy all these stocks, buy gold. They can just buy everything while we're here arguing about balanced equilibrium. They ain't worried about no balanced equilibrium. Okay, you vote this politician in. Most of the time, he just does what he wants to do. He does what his donors expect of him to do. While we're here arguing or poking fun at each other saying, look what you did by voting in Labour, or look what you did by voting in Conservative. Instead of understanding that it doesn't matter who you voted or when they voted, that the same outcome was almost guaranteed. Labour have done all of these things, but yet I don't find myself angry at the people who voted Labour. I don't hate them. I don't want them to die. I forgive these people. Don't vote these political parties to upset one another. It surprises me when people are just so quick to hate because someone exercised a political freedom, their political right to vote for a political party. And if you think that mass deportations will happen and racism and there's going to be lynchings and stuff like that, I don't think you're very serious. It could never happen. We can't even stop the boats coming in here, regardless of Conservative, regardless of Labour. I was looking at a chart the other day of the boat crossings, and do you know that the boat crossings under Boris Johnson are exactly the same as the boat crossings under Keir Starmer? Same arse, different cheek, right? Remember, I voted Boris, but I've sort of learnt my lesson, or maybe I have some sort of post-traumatic stress disorder, because that's made me a lot more wary of politicians nowadays. I'm a lot more selective with my vote. And if I don't see something that I don't like, if I don't see something that I agree with or like, I'm not voting. I voted for reform in the last general elections, but because of things that I've seen since, I didn't vote in these local elections, and I don't think I'll be voting in the next general elections unless someone comes out preaching unity, but being tough with it and is honest. Listen, man, I'm tired. All this division keeps people exhausted. It must be exhausting to constantly find something to disagree on and fight. Identity this, identity that. You're getting this, we're not getting this. We should all be equal under the law, just like we are under the eyes of God. My friends, a population that hates each other is easier to control, man. Have you not noticed that? Have you not seen that? We don't need change when people are willingly policing each other. Just look at COVID. Remember? It was insane. I couldn't believe it. Neighbors were ratting on neighbors for going for a walk for too long, twice a day. What do you think it would take to go back to that? Because it's already happening. You just sprinkle in a bit of division, a bit of team politics, and it makes it a lot more easy. A fertile ground for division, for conflict. I touched on this before, but parenthood really changes how you think about society. I ain't even joking, man. It really does, man. The things I thought about, what I found important when I was a child, when I was younger, even when I was just 30, I look at them as childish things now and realize that, okay, I might not agree with someone's stance or how someone lives, but that doesn't really matter when the safety of my children, the safety of my family, the mutual safety of everybody around me is more important, man. You know what I'm saying? Once you become a parent, your priorities change, mate. When I became a parent, after my second child, I focused more on the long term than ideologies, man. Fuck ideologies. Safety, affordability, social cohesion. All of those things matter more than a bloody ideology. It makes you worry about the safety, like I said before, schools, all of the things in the future that are going to benefit the children. Maybe not me, but the children. They will be the ones to inherit whatever we sow now, right? They'll be the ones to inherit the division, the anger, the fear, the constant back and forth, arguing in bad faith, just division. Did I say that before? You know what I mean? You know exactly what I mean. That's why I always say, you know, when people are talking about Trump, I'm like, he ain't going to be here in the next 10 years to see how the world burns if he gets his way. Netanyahu ain't going to be here that long to see how the world will burn if they get their way. It's the children. That's why I hate ideologies, blind ideologies, no pragmatism. If I'm a bootlicker for wanting that, fine, no problem. I'll close with this, man. Ordinary people of all ethnicities, races, religions lose when society becomes consumed by division. Ordinary black people do not benefit from racial conflict. Ordinary white people do not benefit from racial conflict. Ordinary Asians do not benefit from racial conflict. The people that benefit from racial conflict are those who profit while society tears itself apart. Instead of people focusing on tribes and teams and color and identity politics, people should focus on a country where people can live peacefully, in safety, with mutual trust. You see what I'm saying? Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. I really do. Please like and subscribe and share. And, you know, please comment. Comment below this video. Tell me what you think about what I've said. If you really want a united country somewhere, or you like this racial politics and political scoring points, let me know. Goodbye.